As a kid, I had just enough red in my hair to call it auburn, but as I got older, it became a much more basic brown. I've been coloring my hair for 30 years to keep it the reddish shade I love, but with more and more gray hair sprouting every minute, the upkeep is becoming a real bitch. Should I just give in to the gray? Hello, NextTribe. Cheryl Kramer Kaye back with you again, and today I am with one of the greats. I am with James Corbett. He owns James Corbett Studio. He is the, what's your damn title?
Clairol Color Director.
Clairol Color Director.
That's right.
So what does that mean?
I direct color.
You go like,
I direct color. Yes, something like that actually.
And you may notice the lovely Clairol products behind us. By the way, this is not in any way sponsored by Clairol.
Now let's get this right off the table right now. There's actually no such thing as gray hair.
What are you talking about, James?
Okay, it is the absence of pigment in the melanin in one's hair. So it's actually white, the appearance. But because of this disbursement in with the other hairs, it gives the appearance of looking gray to everything else.
So these aren't gray hairs after all? I want to talk about who can go gray. I mean, obviously, we can all go gray. The question is there a skin tone or a hair color, or is there any combination of things that makes one look better with gray hair than others?
I don't really feel that it's necessarily based on the skin tone as it is the all over look. Perhaps you need a little bit more of a stylish haircut. You need to be wearing bigger earrings or more lipstick.
Let's start with somebody who is starting to go gray and wants to embrace that. How do you go about that?
There's many different factors in going about that. One of them that I usually recommend is going to your colorist and asking for a lot of highlights into your hair. Because once you start highlighting the hair and removing the pigment from the hair shaft, then you can go in and tone those highlights to be more gray or more red or anything that you want to do to try and start mixing in the different tones.
Sometimes you see people
Yep.
who are letting their hair grow out to be natural, to be their natural color. And they've got that grayish or whatever their natural tone is mixed in on top. And then the color they've been dyeing their hair for all those years. How can we avoid that?
That's where some of these fabulous things by Clairol in their Root Touch-Up collection, because we have recently introduced semi-permanent options into our line, which is really new. So for instance, Cheryl, we don't have a light red shade, but I would say for you probably the blonde. So
I love to pretend to be a blonde.
you can go through with the brush and the applicator as I start to prime it, and then you could just say color in that section as it starts to grow out. And then the great thing is, after a couple of shampoos, this product lasts up to 10 washes into your hair, and then it's out and you can start welcoming in that gray, so to speak.
Well, hello there, friend.
Let's say I have made the commitment. I am gray as the day is long, but I want to spice it up a little bit. How do I do that?
That's where a really great ultra light blonde color can come into play. So when you're doing a very ultra light blonde color, sometimes what I do in the salon, I'll even do a platinum on my clients that are 100% gray, so that way, or higher percentages of gray, so that way it gives them a much easier grow out. It's a little bit brighter. So Cheryl, I have a very good client of mine that came to me from an Elle magazine story piece where she is a woman with almost 100% gray hair, was a lawyer and a very, not what one would normally think of off of the top of their head as somebody that would embrace adding fun colors into their hair, so to speak. And we did lavender lowlights on her gray hair. If one is not brave to do that themselves, that's where, say, this color grade hair makeup is really fun. So it's not just for millennials and festival season. You can take these and they wash out of the hair after one shampoo. Cheryl wants to be a little bit funky. Boom, just got a little bit of lavender going on. There we go.
Do I?
So you do, yeah. It's just so much fun because it's literally makeup for your hair. So you don't have to commit. You want to look fabulous and have a different option with maybe your gray hair, or even just your regular hair. So these are all sorts of different fun things to do that you don't necessarily have to be 20 to embrace it.
Well, I'm definitely not 20, but I'm also not quite ready to embrace my gray. So James took me back to my beloved red.
If you are ready to go gray, even though I'm not, make an appointment with the gloss boss over here, James Corbett. By the way, he said shaft.
You can go in and say pick out pieces, and then just wear some gloves, of course, because no glove, no love.